A voice like rain on an old tin roof brings stories alive with a soothing truth. In pages he weaves a world so light. The stars lean close to kiss the night. His voice lulls hearts in restless mind, lost in tales where dreams unwind. The book feather reads as shadows rise. His words are calm as lullabies. So turn the page and close your eyes. Float where the quiet whispers lie. Across the oceans the stories tide. Relax and let the world subside. A thousand accents the moonlight bends, in words no borders, no distance ends. Worlds collide in his gentle tone. A whisper makes you feel at home. Each line he shares feels like coming back to a hearth of words in the silent black. From novels deep to poems that sway, he reads the night into the day. So turn the page and close your eyes. Float where the quiet whispers lie. Across the oceans the stories tide. Relax and let the world subside. A thousand accents the moonlight bends, in words no borders, no distance ends. Across the oceans the stories tide. Relax and let the world subside. A voice like rain on an old tin roof brings stories alive with a soothing truth. In pages he weaves a world so light. The stars lean close to kiss the night. His voice lulls hearts in restless mind, lost in tales where dreams unwind. The book feather reads as shadows rise. His words are calm as lullabies. So turn the page and close your eyes. Float where the quiet whispers lie. Across the oceans the stories tide. Relax and let the world subside. A thousand accents the moonlight bends, in words no borders, no distance.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Giggity. All right.
Seems quiet. Too quiet.
I'm Batman. Gotham is never safe without me. What time is it? It's 7 o'clock. Okay, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. You can attach towers? Shut up. Impromptu performance this evening, which I must say was indeed a welcome distraction. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. You're very kind. This is going to be funny.
Hello. Good evening. Welcome to Tuesday. I almost said Sunday, but it's Tuesday. My gosh. How are y'all? It's great to see you. Chaos, I know you're lurking, but again, congrats on sweeping in on that first place. Silent, it was a pleasure to hang out in your stream a little bit today. Folks, if you don't know Silent, you should. Very chill dude. Cool guy. In fact, probably one of the chillest people I've ever met. Allie, aka User Death. I definitely think I'm going to be up for some more trucking on Thursday. I had such a good time previously. So yeah, I'd love to do that again. Probably starting at about 5 Central. So like an hour before now, if you go back 1 hour in time. But yeah, good times had all around. And Purple, thank you so much for your resub at 28 months. That's a long time. And here's Chaos, you had a book bonk. Or no, Chaos didn't have a book bonk. Allie, you had a book bonk. Here it is. Let's see if we can get a good one. Yep, that was it. Right there. Red Thorn, what's up, man? Good to see you. It was pretty fun. Are you going to be around, Red? I mean, I'll open up the convoy no matter what, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to tonight too, don't get me wrong. I mean, let's face it, I love every time we stream. That is a beautiful blend of milk and tea. Delicious. You should be there. All right, everybody, drive on the other side because Red's coming. You've made a trucker out of me. I enjoyed the calm and chaos. I know it's a weird mix, right? When you're driving by yourself, it's chill, it's relaxing. Then when you start driving with this group, you're like, oh, this should be relaxing. My brain is telling me that this should be calming. And then chaos. Even though I couldn't go over 45, that was a you problem. That was a you problem. Kay, hi Kay. How the heck are ya? This is for Purple. Oh, man. Someone's got to win that frickin' gift card, I swear. Now I have 4 spins to do, which I should probably do one of them right meow, just so I can get that over with. Kay, it is wonderful to see you. Firebeeve, hello, sir. That was definitely a me problem. What gift card? So every time someone subs or gifts a sub, I've been spinning a wheel, and if they land on the color wedge, there's a gift card. Now, the gift card right now is valued at $50. Stop, mama's mama. Hello, ma'am. Wonderful to see you. The gift card right now is valued at $50. It used to be 25. Okay. And since June is right around the corner, If no one lands on that special wedge this month, in June, it goes up another $25, so it'll go to $75 in June. If nobody wins it in June, it goes to $100 in July. And then it stays there until someone lands on the bloody wedge. Okay? So, there you go. That's the story behind the gift card. And it could either be like an Amazon gift card or Steam or, you know, something like that. So we can figure out the details. Yeah. Oh, also tonight, we're not going to do the lap races tonight with Marbles on stream. What I'm going to do instead is in between chapters, we're just going to do a regular race. That'll give me a chance to sip some tea, catch up on chat, and then see who wins a race. So, Marbles is back in, just a little bit different. 90th attempt? Good God, Purple. You have a problem. Gold member for your fans. I like gold. Come and get it. What is happening right now? Chaos, thank you so much for gifting 5 subs. Pointy Stick, Firebeeb, Alley, Crow, and 14 cookies and cream. All get subs. Thank you so much. And Catbox. Hi, Catbox. Thank you for your resub as well. Good God. There wasn't like a... Oh yeah, I gotta add 6. Hold on. Now we're up to 10. Cool. That wasn't like a secret plea to please sub. Not at all. I was just explaining the rules, but my goodness, thank you so much. That's super kind. All right, so to go in order, Chaos, I'm gonna spin the wheel 5 times for you, or maybe less, unless, you know, if you land on the wedge. I guess we'll see what happens. Are you ready? Great. Spin number 1. Not quite. And by the way, these are pages from a book. I originally... Ooh, that was close. I originally had a book, and you would just guess a page, and then I would flip to the page, but instead I decided to put it on a wheel because I'm lazy. Okay, here comes spin number 4. And spin number 5. That was very, very close. All right. Now we have a spin for Catbox. You're on page 48 there. I actually forgot what page it's on, but that's why I have a blue wedge. Still worth it. You are a gem. You are a gem. In the hundreds? Okay. Like 137, I want to say. I could go find the book. It was actually from a book I wrote. Not very well, but I wrote it all the same. Look at me, hyping myself up. What a great job. Okay, I should probably get a couple of these workouts taken care of. Yeah? All right, let's spin the wheel a couple times. Ah! Do nothing. Catbox, read it to me. Looks like I got a freebie out of that one. Okay. So we got hammer curls times 5. I'm going to do one more since I got to do nothing out of the last one.
Streamer picks X5.
And then streamer picks. So, I might as well just do 10 hammer curls, right? That would be the easiest. Most straightforward. Yes. Yes, I shall. All right, there we go. Got a couple out of the way. Thank y'all so much, seriously. Your generosity is more than anyone could ask for. Right. I was about to do something. Oh. For those of you that haven't seen it, I started building a dining table for outside. And I've gotten to the point now where I can stain it. You know, I've sanded it and stained it and stuff. But here's a quick preview prior to the sanding and staining. That sucker is 8 feet long. It is a long table. Thank you, Mel. It's freaking heavy. It's not getting blown over, I'll tell you that much. Next up, I'm gonna build, in the same style, 2 benches to go on either side. I imagine those will also be heavy. Not as heavy, of course, but still heavy. All right. Let's do this. Oh, here's your puzzle for tonight, just in case anyone is interested. It's a street in Nashville, since that's where our book has taken us. I thought that was pretty fitting. In good old Tennessee. Someone that actually lives there, hearing me say Tennessee, would probably shoot me on sight. How do I get to mess up the jigsaw table? Exclamation point puzzle. Or someone born there? Oh dear. Oh dear. Stepmama's mama, y'all from Tennessee? Are yous? Oh, by the way, I'm sporting the After Hours Broalition t-shirt tonight. It's a very cool design. The stunts lived out there on that hill. If Stunt Mom is listening, no, I'm not a native of Ohio. Oh. Okay. I don't know if she's listening, but either way, lovely to see you all tonight. Thank you for being here, taking your time out of your Tuesday to listen in to little old me. We're on chapter 14 tonight. Okay. Okay. Chapter 14 is... And there's one of the brothers.
Oh my god.
Banana. We actually did live on a hill. Well, there you go. Chapter 14 is Ava Morgan. So it's about Ava. It's always about Ava, is it not? She is the lady of the hour. Okay. Page 75, exclamation point wishes, by the way, if you want to check out this book and our author who is in chat tonight. My dog is, you can't hear him, but he is barking relentlessly right now, and it's driving me insane. I don't know what he's barking at. Probably nothing exciting. A car that drove by, perhaps. Either way, whatever. All right. Chapter 14. Ava hurried around the small apartment, a little frazzled. "Have you seen my makeup travel kit?" she asked her mother, digging through a cardboard box. Kelly stood beside her, slightly in the way, and leaned over the carton, looking down. With her hands on her hips, she said, "I thought you put that in your backpack with a change of clothes last night." Ava stopped digging and blinked up at her mother. "You're right. I did." Ava shoved the box aside. "Why are you taking a change of clothes? Aren't they giving you a uniform?" Slightly irked that she had to explain, Ava answered, "They are, but I like to be prepared for whatever. Maybe I'll see Molly, or..." Her voice trailed off, thinking of Owen, hoping she might run into him at work, or maybe that he would call. And if he did, she wanted to be prepared and have a nice outfit with her so she wouldn't have to come home and change. She knew it was wishful thinking, but still. Kelly looked at her a little skeptical, but brushed it off. "You're just nervous and rushing. Slow down and take a deep breath." Fubar, thank you for the lurk. I will have a great... I'm already having a great stream. I could end it right now and it would be wonderful. But that would suck for all of you. Or at least I'm assuming it would. So, I will not. Ava did as she was told, but she was a little irritated with her mother. She inhaled deeply and felt some raw nerves settle. "Feel better?" Kelly asked. "I do," Ava admitted. "Good. Now come have some breakfast." "Kara," Kelly called. "Do you want breakfast?" Kara came bounding out of the bathroom. "Definitely." "I'm not sure I have time." Ava glanced at the clock on the wall. "You have at least 10 minutes before you need to go. That's plenty of time to get a few bites in." "I guess you're right," Ava replied slowly, her voice tinged with uncertainty. "You love this? Good, thank you. I'm enjoying it too." And that cat emote, by the way, 10 out of 10. Is that one of yours? That's a cat on the catwalk, quite literally. "You got it from the hype train." "Nice. You lucked out." She felt torn. On the one hand, she appreciated her mother's help in the kitchen, but on the other, having her there proved to be a challenge. After 4 years of living on her own at college, the sudden closeness and questions felt a little stifling. Still, She reminded herself that tomorrow would be different. Kara and herself would have time and space to find the rhythm. Of course I am. Kelly stepped around the counter and got out 2 plates. Excuse me. The toast popped, and she snagged it with efficiency of someone who had done it daily. Then she placed 2 more slices of bread and pushed down the lever. Do you want jelly or just butter? Just butter, thanks, Mom. Okay, how old were you when you realized that the numbers on the toaster dial were actually time and not like levels? Mad Locust. Good evening. I was whatever I am now minus 6 months. Is that true? Yes. Today years old? Almost. Hazy Crumlord. Hello. You just learned it now? Well. Welcome. You know? The more you know. Knowledge is power. OMG, me too. I'm doing quite well, thank you. Welcome in. We're just starting the reading for the night, so what are you reading today? Do exclamation point wishes, and that will get you a link to what we're reading. I don't think that's true because a watch toaster never pops. Yeah. Well, maybe, but I mean, boiling water still boils if I watch it, so I'm just saying. I always read the manual for new gadgets. I want to know all it can and how to use it as intended. Good for you, Locust. Stern, what's up, man? Long time no see. Book bonk. Ow. That one was a little bit harder than it needed to be. Right. Where was I? How do I get into the race? We haven't done any races yet. Have fun in Helldivers, sir. We'll do a race when I finish the chapter. And that'll be like our intermission. Okay, I must win. Well, good luck. You see nothing. I know. Oh, jelly? What kind? Kara asked as she lifted the jar. Strawberry. There's juice in the fridge and the coffee is ready. Kelly spread a thin layer of butter on both slices of toast and set the plate down. You've been doing level 6 solo? Do you hate life or something? All right. I don't think I can handle any caffeine right now. My stomach is already jittery. Ava retrieved the apple juice from the fridge and poured herself a glass. Want some? She asked Kara. Nope, I'm going for caffeine. I don't think Kara needs caffeine, honestly. Kelly passed her the toast. Kara, I hope you don't mind that I took over the kitchen this morning. Not at all. It's been ages since someone cooked me breakfast. The second set of toast popped, and Kelly repeated the process. You didn't sleep very well last night, did you? Nibbling toast, Ava shook her head. Not really. I'm just so pumped to start, and then last night with Owen. Her voice trailed off as she remembered how they had locked eyes at the end of the song. How the light had hit his eyes. How devastatingly blue they were. I also have blue eyes. He is dreamy. And that voice, Kara murmured. Kelly looked from Kara to Ava knowingly, reaching out a hand and gently laid it on her daughter's arm. He is pretty special. I like him a lot. Just don't get too ahead of yourself. I know. Ava propped her arm on the counter and rested her chin in her hand. She let out a deep sigh and pictured his face. A warmth spread through her as she remembered how he held the door open for her and spoke so gently to the homeless woman. His kindness unmistakable as he brought her a meal. There were the way his eyes softened when they sang together, how their voices blended perfectly. But nothing could stop. Nope. But nothing could top the moment his hand reached for hers. Oh boy, Kara giggled. My thoughts precisely, Kelly said as she spread jelly over her toast. What? Ava asked, trying to not yell. I'm so sorry. I don't know where it's coming from. I was fine all day. What? Ava asked, trying to refocus on her mother and sparing a glance at Kara. Nothing, Kelly said with a smile. Finish your toast. You need to stop daydreaming and go. Before she could answer, her phone chimed. Unable to contain a smile, she said, It's Owen. Ava read the text to herself. Kelly reached for the bread bag, squeezed out the air, and wrapped a twisty tie around the open end. And what does the young... Oh, I was like, the what? And what does the young troubadour have to say this morning? He just wished me luck on my first day. That's so sweet, Kara sighed. I'm envious. I can't believe you didn't tell him you would be working at Cognac Creek. That's a little sneaky, isn't it? More like coy, Ava corrected as she typed a quick response. Can't show all my cards at once. That's smart, Kara agreed, checking her phone. I'm fine, I swear. Ava slid off the stool and hurried into the bathroom to brush her teeth. In the bathroom, her cell chimed again as she applied toothpaste to her brush. She opened the message. This time, it was a video from Molly. Wait. This is the Molly that we assumed was dead, right? Pretty sure. This whole time, I just assumed she'd been murdered. Glad you're finally here, she said, a curious gleam in her eye as she stared at the camera. The clip played, and Molly's face, a little too tired for comfort, filled the frame. Her voice rasped through the speaker as though it had been drug across sandpaper, and her eyes were glossy. Let me know if you need anything. Any help? See you. The clip ended abruptly. Okay, time out. Time out. We know there's a serial killer on the loose. We haven't heard from Molly, who is the best friend, in a few days. But we find that there's a body that's come, afloat downriver. Hearing you speak my given name makes me hate it a little less. Aw. Okay. Which one? I've spoken a few. And now all of a sudden there's this... Oh, Kelly. Okay. Well, good. It's a good name. And now all of a sudden there's this groggy video. I don't buy it. I mean, granted, we don't know much about Molly, but I don't feel like that's her. I could be reading into this way too much, completely overthinking it. But I just don't get the impression that the video she received is the one true Molly. Seems a bit sus. I guess we'll find out. Ava finished brushing. Dropping her toothbrush in the holder, she gave herself one last look in the mirror, fingers tugging at her hair, straightening her clothes, before pulling her phone back up. With a deep breath, she hit record. "Good morning," she said, her voice slightly breathless from the excitement. "I'm so ready to get started. This place is epic. I can't wait to catch up on everything. We need to make a date and meet somewhere ASAP. Until then, wish me luck." She hit send. Back out in the kitchen, her mother and Kara waited for her. "Are you going to take off soon?" Ava asked her mother. "Yes, I'll pack up and head out shortly." Kelly looked around at the apartment, her eyes a little misty. "What are you thinking?" Kelly shrugged. "Just that my little girl is all grown up and all this." She lifted her arms to encompass everything around her. "This apartment, Nashville, seems a little surreal." Ava leaned in and gave her mother a big hug as tears need to stop yawning. As tears threatened in her eyes, she squeezed even harder and then released her. Holding her mother at arm's length, she said, "We have to go or we'll be late." Her mother nodded. "Call me when you get home. I want to hear all about your day." "I will. Do you remember the code for the door in case you get locked out parking the car?" "Yes, but I have to say I miss just having a key in my hand." "Yeah, I'm surprised too, but that's how they do it here, I guess." "Do you have stamps in case you need them?" Such a motherly thing to say. Oh, bless her heart. Ava tapped the pad of paper that lay on the counter. "It's on my list of things to get and do, see?" "Of course it is." "I wish you could stay a few more days," Ava said, and she meant it. The irritation she had felt with her mother was already forgotten. "Me too." A hint of sad, watery smile played on Kelly's face. "Another Tennessee wish?" "I guess so." She gave her mother another hug. She gave her mother another hug, not wanting to let her go. This time, though, her mother broke the connection. "Go. Have a great day. You too, Kara." "Well, it's not my first day, but I appreciate the sentiment. Thanks, Mrs. Morgan." Kara's eyes sparkled with amusement as she bounced on her toes and ducked out the door. Why do I get the feeling Kara's like the living description of gullible? She just... "Hi, I'm Kara." Boo. Which I think is hilarious and awesome. And there's nothing wrong with those things, but that's just the impression I get from this character. Mel's probably like, no, I was going for rocket scientist, but okay. Ava hesitated momentarily, pulling the door open wider and turned back to her mother. I love you, she said softly, her voice filled with an unexpected tenderness. Ha, not quite. Okay, good. Because that would have been awkward for me. I love you too, Kelly replied, her eyes glistening. She placed her hand over her heart, and Ava mirrored the gesture, a quiet connection passing between them. With a final lingering glance, not glance, Ava stepped out, pulling the door gently shut behind her. And that was chapter 14. Mel, don't you hate it when you're getting ready to print the book and they put like a few words at the top of the page and then that's it? You're just like, why? Why couldn't you fit on the other page? I've had that happen myself. Just ticks you right off, doesn't it? All right, folks. It's racing time. A leap to remember. And while we get this race going, I'm also going to do some shout outs at the same time because we have some very amazing people in here, human beings, if you will. I'm going to put 90 seconds on the clock. Starts right meow. And while that's happening, it's shout out time. So, Crumlord, I'm curious, how'd you find me? From whereth do you hail? As one or two, whoa. I almost spilled my tea. That would have been very bad. Johnny and Stepmama? Oh, nice. I know those. That was the shortest clip I've ever seen. Well, hey, feel free to get in the race here if you want. Exclamation point play. You're a new member, though. Okay, all right. Well, that's awesome. It's good to see you. All right, we got Chaos. I also wanted to get Cat. Meow.
You cannot kick the streamer.
Nope.
The streamer will ground you
Ooh.
and take away your computer.
And take away your computer. Love it. All right, who are we going to follow? Oh, Chaos is in first right now. But can she maintain it? No, apparently not. But it's early, it's early. Let's see. Silly man, I haven't streamed in actual years. Appreciate it though. I'm actually thinking about starting back up again. Wait, really? Well, you should. This is your sign. Do it. Stream.
I hear great things.
I wanna die.
All these random clips. I love it. Who else we got? I know ended up with 2 shout outs today, so I guess it's a sign I should dust off the old OBS. Give it the old oh look, it still works. Chaos, I have bad news for you. I mean, it's not the worst news. You didn't come in first, but you did come in second. And there is nothing wrong with second. Second is better than normal? Exactly. Night Marcher, what's up, man? Guys, Night Marcher does unwritten roleplay. He's pretty good at it, too. If I might say so myself. All right, break's over. Get back to work.
Give it another go. I mean,
Oh my gosh. Boobies?
What kind of clip was that? What? Of all the clips, Marcher. I don't even know what to say. Marcher's just like, oh my gosh, boobies. Oh, that's fantastic. I think we all thought it, Kat. Everyone was just like, there is no Marcher, there is only a boob. Oh. I mean, if Marcher hadn't spoken any words, I don't even know if it would have been his clip, really. Let's be honest. Right channel, wrong clip. Wait, Marcher was in the clip? Apparently. Yeah, I heard him. I don't know if he was physically in the clip, but I heard him. All I saw were flotation devices in case of a water landing. All right. Chapter 15. Page 81. Oh, wait, hold on. I want to see a clip from Hazy, because you're new here, and let's get to know you a little bit.
Go quick, up.
Oh,
I'm gonna make it.
he made it! Is that the second Little Nightmares? I've never played that game, but I've seen a decent amount of footage, and you gotta have a death counter. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, my absolute pleasure. Here, I'm gonna follow you as well while I think about it, because Johnny's an excellent guy. Good dude. Yeah, Sarah just finally played a couple weeks ago. Awesome. All right. Well, they're coming out with a third? Jeez. Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's a game that has captured so many. Co-op. Oh. That should be interesting. The deaths are gonna rise dramatically. Yeah. All right. Chapter 15. Here we go. Oh, this is another one of those chapters where there's no name, so yeah. It's from the bad guy. His fingers danced over the keyboard with the practiced precision of someone who'd long since lost any sense of guilt. The passwords came easy, with no resistance at all. Birth dates, social security numbers, bank account details, everything was at his fingertips. A well-oiled machine of exploitation. He withdrew just enough, meticulously calculating the amount to avoid suspicion, moving the stolen funds between accounts. Each transaction was seamless, a quiet victory, as the shadows of his mounting debts receded, replaced with a temporary calm. But the calm was fragile. The loan sharks were always watching, always circling like hungry vultures. Even now, he could feel their presence, a gnawing, sinister undercut to his every action. They still hadn't identified the first two women, but it was only a matter of time. He leaned over and threaded their cards into the shredder. He needed to be careful, or the paper trail would catch up to him. It was time to move on before the police caught wind of him. Would they soon? The thought made him fidget, but he quickly suppressed it, knowing he was always one step ahead. He pressed his lips together, forcing himself back into the cold efficiency of his work. His fingers moved faster now, slick with sweat, the weight of the shark's unseen eyes making his pulse quicken. He opened another purse, the familiar scrape of leather against his fingertips somehow more unnerving. The smell of perfume lingered in the air, the kind of scent that clung to his skin and made him feel exposed. The card slid into his hand like it belonged there, a quiet promise of easy money. He made the purchase, each keystroke a step deeper into the labyrinth of his own making. His plan was in full swing, and working beyond his expectations. But there was no escaping the darkness that loomed around him. The loan sharks, men with eyes cold as glass, voices like gravel, were getting closer. He could almost hear their laughter, the way they'd look at him, knowing that every step he took was one closer to a reckoning. They didn't care about his debts, his plans, his survival, or his gambling problem. They only cared about the blood price they would extract when the time came. For now, though, he pushed the thought away. He laid the card aside, watching it, hearing the untapped dollars call to him. His plan was working, if only temporarily. But deep down, he could feel the crushing weight of inevitability. The sharks would come and bleed him dry. When they did, there would be no escape. He needed more, and fast. And that's the end of a little chapter 15 there, which I've always appreciated the little snippets from our antagonist's perspective. Well, now we know that he's murdering for money. I feel like there could be better ways to do it, but, don't quote me on that. I am not a bank robber or anything. 90 seconds on the clock. I'm also going to run a 2-minute ad while that's happening, so we can get that out of the way. And then we can carry on with chapter 16. I might even do a workout too. Gosh, just so much happening. All right. Let's spin the wheel of destiny. Or sorry, gains. Wheel of gains.
Regular curls x10.
All right, so the first one is regular curls times 10.
Streamer picks x5.
And then I get to pick times 5. I'll either do more regular curls, since I'm already doing it, or since I have weights in hand, I might do weighted squats. But either way, let the fun begin. Actually, let me wait like 14 seconds, and then we can follow one of y'all's marbles. Let's see who's gonna start off in first place. Stop Mama's Mama. All right, good luck. Nailed it. Whoa. Ho 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 ho, that was close. I thought for sure someone was gonna get abducted. Ah, don't worry, Crumlord. You can still do exclamation point event or RPG to play the other game. Well, I didn't make it. Neither did Kay. That's sad. Chaos won. Well done. That's new. Hey, look, you know, every squirrel finds a nut eventually. And every alligator in Florida gets a golf ball, so it's fine. It was just your time. All right. Chapter 16 is back to Detective Wyatt Lockhart. Page 83. Here we go. The scorching hot sun seared his skin, and 90-degree temps intensified the fishy smell of the murky water. Blech. Wyatt peered down at another lifeless body. Her red hair was plastered to her face, her skin pruned, and there were rope burns around her wrists and ankles. He shook his head in disgust as he straightened and glanced around. The tally was now up to 5. As if he didn't already know, the jackass had marked another victim. A bold, black number 5 marked on the inside of her palm, scrawled in permanent marker. He hadn't needed to see it. He had known it would be there, but he had forced himself to check, praying it wasn't. He spat on the ground. The numbers were rising quickly, and he wasn't any closer to solving the case. But the thing that disturbed him was that this time, there hadn't been 3 weeks between victims. Only a couple of days. Was the killer getting impatient? Was he growing bored? More desperate? Or were the women that easy to obtain? Wyatt walked a short distance from the scene and glanced at the pedestrians forming on the bank. Crowd control, Wyatt muttered. The tourists needed to be pushed back further. The crowd was growing by the minute. Rancic, he bellowed. Right here, Sergeant, he answered, suddenly stepping away from the female officer he'd been speaking with. Get these people moved back. Widen the perimeter. Push back the barricade. Give us more room to work. We don't need all these gawkers. Half of them have their phones out, taking pictures or filming the scene. Get them out of here, he barked. Yes, sir, Rancic answered. He called out orders and gave directions, having officers move barriers and string more yellow caution tape. Wyatt scanned the area for any sign of surveillance on the nearby buildings. He was drawn to a shadow creeping along the bank just below the yellow tape. The figure had large, sorrowful dark eyes, a slightly hunched posture, and a look of melancholy that seemed almost palpable. He registered a flash of military green against a gray t-shirt with a spot of hot pink swinging. Just as he was about to approach her, Rancic appeared, interrupting his focus. Looks like the deceased has some sort of abrasions as the others. Some of the same abrasions as the others, Officer Rancic stated, eager to report. Around her wrists and ankles. Looks like the Cumberland killer strikes again. You might be right, Wyatt said, his frustration evident. He didn't want to give the younger officer the satisfaction. But I've told you before not to jump to conclusions. I'm not jumping to conclusions, Rancic replied. It seems like a pretty straightforward case. Why'd you always have to complicate things? Wyatt shook his head, clearly exasperated. Because, Rancic, it's my job to dig deeper. It should be yours too if you're doing it properly. He peered at Rancic from behind his dark glasses. His patience with him was already spent. Make sure you have the witness reports on my desk this afternoon. Call the morgue and tell them we're bringing them another body. The words hung in the air, thick with the weight of the case. He didn't need to say more. His tone said it all. There was no room for hesitation, no time for small talk. Another victim, another family would be shattered if and when they could identify the body. He rubbed his temples, the pressure of the investigation mounting. Wyatt left the scene but wasn't ready to return to the office. Ahead, he spotted a Dunkin' Donuts. They have excellent donuts. Just in case you guys didn't know. Coffee. He needed it more than he cared to admit. He pulled into the parking lot, the familiar sight, the bright colors of the place offering a brief sense of comfort. That was life, he thought. A busy world where everything seemed normal. And right now, that's exactly what he needed. Just a little normalcy. He got out of the car and headed inside. There was a line that almost deterred him, but the smell of freshly brewed coffee and rising yeast called to him. His stomach rumbled. He stepped into line behind a woman, grumbling to himself. She turned to look at him. The line's moving pretty fast, but if you're in a hurry, you're welcome to go ahead of me. Sorry, did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to. Just been one of those days. She nodded her pretty head knowingly. I get that. Well, hopefully the coffee will help. But what about you? He asked as they both stepped forward, moving up in line. Well, it started a little sad, but now it's getting better. Oh? He assessed her with a practiced glance. Her brown hair framed her face with understated elegance. Hazel eyes had a warm, engaging depth and a subtle hint of a Midwestern accent that added a touch of familiarity. Care to elaborate? She laughed softly. Where do I begin? He looked beyond her to the front of the line that was moving. Looks like maybe the abridged version might be best. She gave a casual wave of her hand. Absolutely. My daughter just settled into her new place. Today's her first day at a new job. I had planned to head home this morning, but she had this list, and I thought... He detected a complex blend of pride and sadness, interwoven in a way that spoke volumes beyond her words. And you thought? He prompted, I don't know what I thought. She hesitated as if trying to justify why she was still here. Maybe that I had one more day before I needed to go home and be back at work. I could tick off items on her list, stay and hear about her first day in person instead of on the phone. She shrugged and moved up in line. And how is the list coming? I've managed to check off several things, she said proudly, and without getting lost. Wyatt chuckled softly and nodded. Good for you. He pointed. Looks like you're up. She placed her order. Wyatt was surprised when she ordered a mango pineapple refresher with green tea instead of coffee, paid, and stepped aside for him. He ordered as usual and took his place next to her to wait for his coffee as if it were the most natural thing to do. He wasn't ready for the conversation to be over. I'm sensing a little more to the story. She laughed. What? Are you a mind reader or something? Not quite. She shrugged and said, I'm worried that if I handle everything for her, my daughter might feel like I don't believe she can manage on her own. It's not like a 22-year-old needs her mother. I don't want to undermine her independence. Do you want to know what I think? Certainly. We've come this far into the conversation. I completely understand your concern. Granted, I've never met your daughter and don't have any of my own, but after a long day, she'll be glad you took a few items off her list and stayed one more day. Names were called. That's me. And me, Wyatt said as they both approached the counter. Drinks in hand, they both started for the door. He held it open, allowing her to step through first. Once outside in the parking lot, she paused and turned to him. Thanks for listening to a stranger ramble on. With a genuine smile, Wyatt said, The pleasure was all mine. I truly enjoyed our conversation. He lifted his cup and clinked it against hers. Here's to a brighter day ahead. You've certainly brightened mine. She returned his smile. And mine as well. And that is the end of chapter 16 with the Detective Wyatt. I assumed the detective and Ava were going to, meet at some point in the story. But I didn't expect it to be through her mother. And maybe it won't be. That could just be me, reading into things. Reading into things. Get it? Because I'm reading the book. Never mind. Hey, look, another race. Gee whiz, would you look at the time? Ooh, this one has moving triangles. Whoa. Hope you're not afraid of heights. This should be interesting. 90 seconds on the clock. Ba-dum. Catbox. Fun fact. I play the drums. In fact, I have a drum set in the other room. It's been a hot minute since I've, sat down and played anything, but it's there. I even have a pair of drumsticks. Drummer stream when? Oh God. Nope. Why don't you have a spank the drums routine? Oh God, that's funny. bad drum. He's so bad. Man, trying to set that up would be a nightmare. And I will behave and ask not to be the drums. Cat box. You want me to use my drumstick, don't you? Hello, Renato. I'm moist. Oh, that's funny. Wait, do I still have? Let me just check something. No. Do I not have that command anymore? Hold on. I gotta fix something.
What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this?
Hi, Gemma. How you doing? Ooh, K1. Good job. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Sorry, I'm just trying to find something. Okay, I think.
Hey, aren't you a good girl?
There it is. Well done, Kay. Nailed it. Gemma, how the heck are you? Well, yeah, it's my voice, Cat. It should sound pretty familiar. Pretty good. How's everyone tonight? Great. We're having a wonderful time. Heal. Allie's at level 12. All right, chapter 17 is a short one. It's only just over 3 pages, give or take. It's about Ava again, because I mean, it's mostly about Ava. That is delicious tea. All right. Page 88. Ava threaded through the tables and returned to the main bar. The place was hopping. She would swear it was 9 at night if she didn't know the time. The lights inside were down, setting the mood perfectly for day drinking. People poured in by the dozens, wanting to cool down from the heat and get something refreshing to drink and hot and spicy to eat. Ava thanked the bartender, loaded her drinks onto her tray, and set off across the wide expanse of the room through the strategically placed tables. Stella, the manager, had anticipated Ava shadowing another waitress for most of the first day and the next week until she grew comfortable. Unfortunately, they were down 2 servers, and with the number of people coming in, she had thrown Ava to the wolves, giving her a section and telling her to holler if she needed help. Holla! It's not that she couldn't handle it. Ava had plenty of experience. She had waited tables all 4 years in college, and her experience ran the gamut from hostess stand to working behind the bar. It was a good rush as the crowd and the music increased. Waiting tables always had its moments. She'd already had a drink spilled on her shoe, a dish break, and one guy had asked for her number. She had efficiently dealt with all of them. Son of a... oh my god, no. On the brighter side, she had captured memories for families, joined in bachelorette party celebrations, and carried out shots for a 21st birthday. Her pockets were overflowing with tips. The rewards far outweighed the challenges of working at an establishment like this. She delivered her drinks with practiced efficiency and stopped to check on a few others at the back of the room. In addition, the staff was incredibly friendly and had a wealth of valuable information. She gained insights into how Stella selected and hired bands for her stages, knowledge that was nothing short of priceless for Ava's next step. Amidst everything, Ava's mind kept drifting back to Owen and the unforgettable moment on stage. Every time the back door opened, she couldn't suppress the desperate urge to glance towards it, her heart racing with the faintest hope that he might walk through it, despite knowing he usually had Mondays off. The back door opened, and she held her breath. She released a small sigh and was torn between disappointment and relief. If he walked in now, she knew what he would see. Her hair was up in a messy bun, jeans and a black t-shirt with the Cognac Creek logo on her chest, and her short sleeves rolled up even further. Not the picture of perfection she wanted to portray, but then again, this was her. At least one side of her. The working side, determined to make it on her own side, and she was proud of that. She shimmied sideways with her empty tray to get through a particularly tight spot and bumped into someone. "Oh, I'm so sorry," Ava started. "Oh, no worries, little lady," he said, steadying her. He released her and tipped his hat. The brim was down low, and with the pulsating lights from the stage, she couldn't quite make out his features, only the glint of his eyes in the dimness. "Can I buy you a drink?" he asked in a low southern drawl. "I'm sorry, I'm working." "What time do you get off?" She gave a little laugh, trying to be polite. "I'm not sure. It's my first day." "I can wait. Surely they will give you a break at some point." "Thank you, but I already had mine." "A pretty thing like you shouldn't have to serve or buy her own drinks in a place like this." She forced a smile. "Again, thank you for the offer, but I'm working and I need to get back to my customers." She inched past him, but his hand shot out, fingers curling around her wrist with an unsettling pressure. "You sure?" His voice dropped to a murmur, a subtle threat lingering in the air. She flinched, her skin crawling under his touch, but forced herself to stay calm. "Positive. Thank you, though." With a quick tug, she pulled away, her movements stiff, like a spring wound too tight. She heard him mutter something low under his breath, the words too soft to understand. A shiver crept up her spine, but she shook it off, brushing the encounter aside. And that is the end of chapter 17. Is this creepy encounter our mystery murderer? Or just an unpleasant patron? You decide. Which one should we do next? Castle Siege?
Noise, noise, noise.
Hi, Corgi. Thank you very much. Corgi, are you working on Thursday? We're gonna be driving some trucks. Just thought I'd ask, in case you find yourself in front of a big wheel, hauling a load on the open highway. You are? Well, man, if I thought every creeper was a potential murderer, I would have never made decent money as a cocktail waitress. Yeah, that would... nope. That would have been weird. But Catbox is a cocktail waitress, huh? Ma'am, can I buy you a drink? "90 seconds on the clock. Get your balls in here." Ooh, chapter 18 is very short. It's just about a page. Just a little over a page from Kelly's perspective. Yes, sir. Excellent. I will sharpen the axe. Wait, did I say that out loud? Shit. I meant the Axe body spray. Axe body spray. 13-year-old's best friend.
Going on a date. I need to empty this entire can.
I would rather the real axe for some firewood. I do enjoy a nice outdoor fire. We're going to be getting a fire pit soon. Just haven't quite picked the right one yet. You know, taking our time to figure it out. Well, there's the cat in the box right there. Oh. I don't feel like this is part of the track, cat. Of course, it's their best friend. No one else will be their friend with that odor. Yeah. Did you use it at 13? I don't remember what I used at 13. God, I've slept since then. Probably, though. Performance anxiety? Well, you know, 1 in 5. Give or take. Yeah. Your ball is not performing. That's all I gotta say. So sad. Run, Corgi. Look, it's up there. Stuck. I don't even know which way you guys are supposed to go right now. Or maybe there isn't a finish, you're just supposed to survive? I have no idea. It's my ball's job to perform. Oh, it isn't my ball's job to perform. Are we still talking about marble races? Just curious. Oh, this race is explosive. I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah, Rexter's. Oh, hi, Rexter, by the way. Sneaky little. Stepmama's mama, Kay, and now Cat. All of your balls have been extinct. Just woke up. Yeah, man, how you feeling? Last I heard from Stumpmama's stream, you were not feeling good. Pain all over? Oh, God, that sucks. I'm sorry. I hope you've been taking your Tylenol, or if you're allowed, ibuprofen.
Oh, why is there water there?
Oh my god. Chimp. Oh my god, Chimp. Chimp, how the fuck did you...
Think we're all going the wrong way? I mean, that's life, isn't it? That sounds like life. It will pass, or I will. Let's hope it's the first option. And yes, it will pass, but it doesn't mean it doesn't suck in the process. Yeah, last time I heard, I think Stunt said it was like 104. Oh, well, there goes Corgi. Bye. It's just me and Chaos. I don't even know how I'm still in it. Where's mine? Ugh. This level is impossible. It's dropped a bit. Well, that's better, I hope. Hopefully the Tylenol is helping. Oh, you've been using ibuprofen. Okay. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Dodge, duck, dive, dip, and dodge. That's a great movie. Okay, one of us needs to die. This is taking forever. Those 12-inch frozen pizzas are made to be a single serving, right? Yeah. Probably. Come at me, bro. I don't have to. There's other things coming at both of us. Oh. Where are all these barrels coming from? This is ridiculous. Apparently, the game's not over. Like, where is the finish line? All right. Chapter 18. Will the novel daddy make it to the finish? Probably not. No. But at least I came last. That's all I can ask for. All right, you know what? It's time for chapter 18. We still talking about the race? Yes. Chapter 18 is about Kelly. It starts on page 91 in the printed copy. Kelly glanced at her watch in surprise. It was already past 5. She hoped Ava and Kara would be home soon, but had no way of knowing with either of them, or when either of them would arrive. She dropped the shopping bags on the small kitchen island, turned on the evening news, and set to work to make Ava's favorite meal. I would love to apologize for my behavior. I would love to, but I can't. Bookfather knows when he picked me up on the side of the road. And there I go. Winner! Nobody. The box that I saw on the side of the road looked amazing, and then there just happened to be a cat inside, and I was like, well, heck. I wonder if anyone's won that race. I don't think so. She found a large pot, filled it with water, and set it on the stove to boil. While waiting, she tidied the counters and pulled out a skillet for browning ground beef. She then turned her attention to the lasagna noodles, tossing them into the boiling water. Cans of tomato sauce and spices were selected from her bags, and the timer was set for the pasta. Pretty much, I think it was Eriandor's or Huldra stream. Huldra. Amidst this chaos, Kelly straightened the living room and set the table while the reporter droned on about the Cumberland killer. Despite being safe in the cozy little apartment, she shivered at the news anchor's broadcast. The timer went off, indicating that the pasta was done. She quickly drained the boiling water, rinsed the noodles, and set them aside. When the ground beef was browned and seasoned, she began layering it with noodles, sauce, and cheeses into a glass Pyrex baking dish, covering it with tinfoil to keep it from drying out, and placed it in the oven. I've adopted Huldra and Lit Girl as my little sisters. Yeah, you know, I haven't stopped in on Lit's stream in quite a while. I should pop in and say hi sometime. As the lasagna baked, she decided to wait to pop in the French bread and get out the salad. The smell of the baking lasagna filled the apartment, promising a well-deserved reward for her efforts and the anticipation of Ava's arrival. Kelly was exhausted. The day had passed quickly with all the errands and the anticipation of being here when Ava got home, but now, with nothing else to do, she sank onto the couch, a mix of trepidation and fatigue washing over her. Perhaps I'll just rest my eyes for a few minutes until they get home, Kelly mused. Then, reconsidering, she quickly texted Ava to let her know she'd stayed another day. She didn't want her daughter to walk into a surprise, feeling like her space had been taken over and her needy mother had intruded on her new life. The text sent, Kelly leaned back on the sofa, turned off the TV, and closed her eyes, forcing what she'd heard on the news out of her mind. And as I said, that was a nice little quick chapter. Always love to see you out and about. I do try. You know, some days it really just depends on, you know, what's going on with work, because sometimes it's hustle, hustle, hustle. And sometimes I'm like, I get paid to do nothing. So it just depends. All right, well, as promised, that was a quick chapter. Let's see if we can find a race that, you know, we can finish. I was going to choose Death Alley, but that just doesn't give me the impression we'll finish. Finishing is important. Eye of the Storm doesn't give me that impression either, but it looks like this metal thing is peeing into a toilet bowl, so I'm all for it. Yep. "90 seconds on the clock. Oh my gosh, Corgi. The kitten pictures you posted in the group chat. freaking adorable. You guys want to see some cute kittens? I have to show you this. I have to. I just have to. Let's see. Let's go with... Look at that. My God. I want one. Look at them. Little fur balls. Good grief. Oh, hold on. There's another picture. Look at that. You're making me want another cat, and I just lost one of my dogs last week. Oh my God, Kay, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Oh. That feeling. It just... I've experienced it too many times myself. Oh, I'm so sorry, Kay. No more kittens, Corgi, otherwise we'll never get back on track. I'm trying not to add to the fur family for a while, but my resolve is weak. Yeah, I know the feeling. Believe me. I know the feeling. That is the hardest part about pets. They just don't live long enough for all the love they deserve. No kidding. And all they do is love, right? I mean, that's all they know. When they're treated properly, of course. Little scamps. You know, the puppy we had that we needed to rehome, she was adorable. But unfortunately, it was just not meant to be for us. But from what we've been told, she is with a family now that she is thriving in. And so that makes me happy. You did it, Locust. Front Street in Nashville, Tennessee. Good job. And Cat, well done on the puzzle. Puzzle. On the race. I'm getting everything mixed up. Well done. I can say for the first time in my life, I have the easiest time saying no to a puppy. Kittens, though? Yeah, they're little... Raina was 13. She had a long, happy life. I take comfort in that I gave her a better end than her beginning. She was a rescue, one of the only two to survive her litter. My God. You have to hold on to that kind of stuff, okay? I get it. I really do. That'll be the same kind of thing with our current dog, Arlo. He came from such an abusive situation. He was on his last shelter. He would have been put down otherwise. But, yeah, we snagged him up. And now he's relaxed. But, yeah, it's gonna hurt. Yay, I did it. That is what happens when no one is looking. Oh my gosh. You have her sister too? Oh boy, I hope the sister's coping. Stepmama's realization that she might be able to meet the babies when they visit was funny. Yeah, I bet it was. All right. Let's get in another chapter, shall we? Chapter 19. This one is about Owen. Starts on page 93. Here we go. Owen sat on the back patio, his guitar slung across his shoulders, fingers idly plucking the strings with a kink forming in his neck. Between trying to craft a melody and scribbling down half-formed notes and lyrics, he managed only a few bars and a chorus that seemed to flow pretty well. Ah, thank you, Corgi. As he gazed across the tiny porch, he noticed the German Shepherd lying in the corner. Gunnar looked forlorn. Owen sighed, realizing it was time for a walk. Owen knew the dog deserved more. A sprawling yard to run and play in, not this postage stamp or this concrete porch. And someone who loved him. Really loved him. Not that he didn't. It was just that every time he looked at the dog, he was reminded of the loss. He unstrapped the guitar and gently placed it back in its case. With a whistle, he signaled to Gunnar, who perked up instantly. "Ready for a walk?" Owen asked, watching the dog's soulful eyes. They didn't hold adoration, but Owen wasn't looking at Gunnar with such affection either. Ava, on the other hand, was an entirely different story. We breed bulldogs, but have it in the contract that if it doesn't work out with their new family, that we get them back. We have one that is almost 2 years old that was never given any training and is taken to bullying the mom and son of the family. So he is now going to a training program to be a service dog for a veteran. Oh, that's a good way to do it. Yeah, that's really neat. I absolutely support that. I was in the Air Force myself, not for very long. I ended up being medically discharged, but the thought of knowing that a pup is going to be trained and going to go help a veteran, I think that's fantastic. The mere thought of Ava brought a smile to Owen's face as he clipped the leash onto the dog's collar. "I bet Ava would enjoy walking you," he said, glancing down at Gunnar. The German Shepherd tilted his head as if pondering the thought too. "Let's go." As Owen and Gunnar strolled down the street, his thoughts wandered again to Ava. He wondered how her day had unfolded, whether she was finished with work, what her first day might have been like, and where exactly she worked. It's my pleasure. Maybe I should send her a text. Or wait, why had she been so cryptic about where she worked? Maybe I should send her a text. He mused aloud, only to second-guess himself. I might be too soon. I already reached out this morning. I don't want to come across as too eager. But she had answered almost instantly, so maybe it wasn't. Sorry, bumped something that didn't need to be bumped. He caught himself talking to the dog about his love life, or lack of one. It felt odd, but at least he was considering the possibility of romance again. Ava had stirred feelings in him that had long been dormant. Though a bit lonely, talking to Gunnar was better than silence. With Toby at work and Gunnar once belonging to his brother, it almost felt like a small connection to him. Without human company, a dog's companionship wasn't the worst substitute. Gunnar may not talk back, but his presence was still comforting. How ironic that we were just talking about pets and dogs, and now we're talking a lot about dogs. They rounded the corner and were in the thick of things as the duo maneuvered through the crowd like a unit. Downtown Nashville was alive with energy in the middle of happy hour. The air buzzed with laughter, music pouring out of every honky-tonk and bar. Bright neon signs flickered overhead, casting colorful reflections on the bustling pavement. His grip tightened on the leash as they navigated through the streets, the rhythm of their steps syncing like a well-rehearsed dance. They moved seamlessly, dodging tourists, snapping photos, friends shouting to be heard over the lively tunes, and couples swaying to the beat of live bands spilling out onto the sidewalk. On any given day in the summer, the streets downtown teemed with people. The scent of grilled food wafted through the air, tempting them. As they continued, the energy of Nashville wrapped around him, vibrant and infectious. In this moment, Owen felt like a part of something bigger, a tapestry of voices and sounds woven together in the heart of the city in a way that he hadn't felt in months. He turned the corner again, away from downtown this time, back to his townhouse. He cleared his mind from the crowd, and instantly, a couple of new lyrics popped into his head. There could be something to this. Regular exercise may be good for his writing. He knew that, and did run regularly up until 6 months ago. He'd just gotten out of the habit and was not able to find the desire or the energy to deal with the dog and exercise. Grilled food. Insert drooling Homer emote here. But now that the lyrics were rolling around in his head, he picked up the pace, jogging with Gunnar by his side, eager to get back to the house and write them down. The bad part about the lyrics was the reminders of why he had difficulty writing new songs. It was hard to remember what it had been like before the accident that had taken his brother and injured Gunnar, before he had nursed the German Shepherd back to health, before Laura said she didn't love him, before she left. It wasn't that he wanted Laura back, because he certainly didn't, but it had been a big adjustment not to have her constantly around. He knew he was better off without her. She was a liar, a manipulator at best. His phone buzzed, a harsh reminder of the reality he couldn't escape. The bi-weekly alert he'd set to force himself to call the detective, as if he could forget the ongoing case, the one that had haunted him since that night. He needed to call. His stomach tightened at the thought of hearing more details that could lead him down a road he didn't want to travel. But it had been weeks since he'd gotten an update, and it wasn't like the detectives were calling him. He ran up the stairs, let Gunnar off the leash, pulled his phone from his pocket, and dialed. It rang twice before the line clicked. "Police department, how can I help you?" He paused, swallowing hard. "I'm calling about an ongoing case. Could I speak to Detective Lockhart?" "He's unavailable at the moment. I can transfer you to Officer Rancic." "Thank you." Owen made his way to the backyard and Gunnar followed him. He paced back and forth while the line rang again. With nothing else to do but to survey the backyard, Owen was acutely aware that the grass needed to be mowed. It was high, and the weeds were taking over. Rancic speaking. Officer Rancic, this is Owen Lane. I'm calling regard a case. Owen rattled off the case number. The case with my brother, Officer Dylan Lane. I was wondering if there's any new information. Owen, right. I'll check the file. There was a brief silence on the other end, and then the officer returned to the line. It's still an ongoing investigation, and I don't have any new information to release to you. I will let Detective Lockhart know that you called. Before Owen could say anything else, there was a dial tone in his ear. So much for that, he thought, exasperated. The ache in his chest resurfaced. He spotted a dandelion, and Ava's face came to mind again. The pain eased slightly. Was she the answer? Maybe she was the one to make this pang in his chest disappear completely. He went back into the house and got a blue Solo cup and a spoon because he didn't have a hand shovel. In the yard, he bent and dug up the entire weed, placing it and the dirt in the cup. Dandelions were interesting, he mused. Most people hated them and spent thousands of dollars to eliminate them. Not Ava, he thought. She was different. Dandelion started as a small yellow bloom and then followed. Just kidding. Acid. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Dandelion started as a small yellow bloom, and sometimes those blooms grew to the size of a silver dollar. Eventually, they would turn white and fluffy, and their seeds would scatter in the wind. No wonder Ava liked them. She saw the beauty in its simplicity and delighted in the magic of its transformation and the tradition of wishing on the seeds. He grinned, lifting the blue cup to admire his work. He had a little dot of sunshine in a plastic cup. Somehow, it made him feel slightly better. He carried the cup in and placed it in the window. Now, every time he saw it, he would think of Ava. Ava, even her name made him happy. Just the simple thought of her. If she were interested, he would have her sing again at their set on Thursday night. Her voice was incredible, and he knew a rehearsal beforehand would make it even better. It was the perfect plan. He would have loved someone giving him this chance a few years ago. It would have made the whole process easier. Not that he was anybody yet, but if he could help another wannabe country singer, why not? It was just plain good karma to at least give it a shot. There was only one way to find out if she was interested. With a deep breath, he fired off a text to her. But what did she say? Well, I don't know, because that's the end of the chapter. And we'll have to wait until Sunday to find out. Gosh darn it. What the heck, man? That was some really good story tonight. Some good chapters in there. I mean, not that any of them are bad, I guess. That could sound awkward, couldn't it? What I mean is, I really liked it. But, Dad, I don't wanna. All right, I'll tell you what. We'll do a marble race. And while that's happening, it'll give me a chance to find someone for us to go raid. trying to find like a really good one, you know? Something crazy. Here we go. Off the rails. One more chapter, Daddy, please. Thanks for reading. Have a good night. No, thank you, Mel. Thank you for letting me read your book. Wait, did we just... No, but it looks oddly familiar. Yeah, really loving the story. Kat, I can't read another chapter because if you are in the position of please more, that's the perfect time for me to end. Okay, bye. Okay. Let me pull up our streamer friends. See who we can find. Rule of the game, always leave them wanting more. That's right. So you like it when I beg? I do. I dare you to beg some more. I mean, what? I'm just looking for someone to raid. Y'all need to calm down. Let's see. Who haven't we raided in a while? Oh, and we're off. Dun, 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 dun. Need to calm down now. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Yep. I'm not ignoring you. I am searching for just the right streamer to raid. I know. We're gonna raid my buddy Average. He's a good guy. Please copy the raid message. Okay. Give that a good copy. We're going to copy pasta that. And once the race is finished, I will fire off the raid. Oh, nope, you're supposed to go down there. Why are you over here? That's the one. Oh. Oh no. I go my own way. How fitting that I would win the last race. Huh. Kay, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I had a blast tonight. I'm really enjoying the story, and hanging out with you all was just wonderful. Thank you for the hype train earlier on as well, and all those wonderful gifted subs. Very kind of you. We'll be back Thursday with ATS, American Truck Simulator. Not American Truck Stimulator. Yeah. Until then, as I always like to say, please take care of yourself, take care of each other, and have an amazing night.